For those of you who have noticed, I'm fully loaded here. Got 2 cell phones. One for my wife, one for everybody else. And guess which one the battery's the most used on? Yeah, my wife, that's right. I put this in here. Does it work? Does it work? Yes, it does. Don't move. All right. Don't move. Berkey, this was made for you. It looks nice. It's on wheels. I like this. Hey. How does it look? Doesn't it look a little crooked? That's fine. I have a list of names after, so I'm giving you a pre-warning right now. I'm no good with names. And I normally feel really bad when I don't say people's name properly. But given the fact that every single person who said my name here today has totally not said it right.
Guzzo.
Let's go over this, guys. It's Guzzo. Not Guzzo, not Guzenstein for the Jewish community, friends of ours. Not Yo-Yo Bro Guzzo. No. It's Guzzo. Guzzo. Now, but I'm still going to ruin everybody else's name here, I gotta be honest. I was going to compliment the lovely ladies in the room today, but my sister-in-law walked in, so no comments about any of the women in the room. Just next time, give me the mic before my sister-in-law gets into the room. I want to thank 2 people. One of them, you guys have mentioned his real name for the last half hour. I didn't even know he had a real name. I thought his name was Berkey. In fact, I've always asked myself where the all these big guys from the Alouettes, so I got to answer that problem. So I wanted to thank him because he got us involved on a second level. Let's put it this way. The first guy who actually got us involved was a guy called Dexter Johnson. Dexter, who's always in the hidden from this stuff, is a great smiling surgeon or something. And he called up a friend of mine, and we went to lunch, and he made sure that I knew Montreal Community Care existed. And then we met Berkey, and God knows that once Berkey gets his teeth into you, he's not letting you go. So, our involvement really comes, it's a very simple thing. We're a Montreal-based company. We believe in giving back. We gave back when we didn't have a lot to give back. And now that we have a little more than we had before to give back, we continuously want to give back. What we like about this foundation is that it not only helps our youth, it not only sets an example, but it sets a realistic, logical example. Meaning what? Meaning that it does, and it realizes that unfortunately not all of us will end up in a prep school, not all of us will end up necessarily being Prime Minister of the country. But it doesn't mean we can't aspire to that. It doesn't mean we can't apply the same leadership skills, the same dedication to giving back. You know, the difference, sometimes I always like to tell for those of you who don't know it, we have a lot of TVs in my house, but we don't seem to use them. I have 5 kids. I have 4 boys and a girl. And the continuous discussion is always to teach all 5 of them the same lessons. But every one of them takes something different from there. Every one of them will succeed or achieve their level of happiness, perfection, great citizenship, as I like to call it, in a different way. And it's important, and we have this discussion with my wife often, and I'm happy you have an empowering program for women. You know, I think the biggest problem we have is sometimes we want to make women compete as if they were men. And that's wrong. Women are women. And the reason why I love women is because they're women. And if you make them become like men, I'm no longer interested. And it's important that mutual respect exists. And those are things that this program is teaching. And it doesn't matter if one day you're going to run a company like Cinema Guzzo or CJED or the Alouettes. you can be a success without having to necessarily have achieved the job of Prime Minister of the country. You can actually give back to your community by being an average person. But what is important is to give back. I hope everybody, Senator Guzzo is involved in many, many things, and we try and give back as often as we can. The other thing that's very important, and that's why when we were asked, we wanted to support the awards ceremony night or the gala where we recognize our community heroes, is because I'm a businessman and competition is good. Greed, all of that stuff is good, right? So by competing, by having these recognition, by noticing and putting our heroes in the forefront, what we are doing is we are stimulating a sense of competition. The basketball is nothing else but a form of clean competition. Studying, exams are nothing else but should be nothing else and seen as a form of clean competition. And that's where the goal is with the galas. We need to recognize these community heroes. So now is my revenge for all the Guzzos of this world and all of the Mr. Guzzo and Mr. G. Some people just call me Mr. G. It's easier. So we have a few award winners. Student Athlete Award, Kimberl St. Felix, Chloé Langetin. Je l'ai-tu bien dit? Lantaigne. Here we go. We got a guy in the front row correcting me already. It's going to be long, but it's okay. I like the correction. Then we have Paul Frappier Youth Leadership Award, Alisa Rothman. What? Aisha Robinson, Pearl Amiran. Here we go. Do we have? Oh no, these are organizations now. Community Organization Award, Games of Hope, Otis Grant and Friends Foundation, CFAD, Continuité Famille auprès des détenus. Now I have a few Italian names. This is good. See, the Italian names are probably going to get it right. Community Leadership Award, Joseph Pugliese. Joseph, where are you? He's not here. You see, all of the guys that get the names right are not here. Maggie Caruso, Simeon Pompey, Sheila Pixky, Philip Tousignan, Jesse Dorelian. How am I doing with the names? Okay, so can I have some encouragement? Thank you. Yeah, good job. Jeez, you guys are a rough crowd. I'm telling you, you guys are really a rough crowd. Lifetime Achievement Award, Johnny Monty Montanero. There's the man. I see him. Get up for a round of applause. There we go. And then we have Reverend Darrell Gray. Reverend, where are you? Are you in the room? Get up. No, he's not in the room. So these are going to be our award winners on the 28th of May. I hope to see you all there. I think it's, as Berkey and everybody has been trying to tell you, it's an important cause. I think it's important to recognize people who are trying to make Montreal a better place. There's more than just Denis Coderre at work here, in the city. And once again, thank you, Berkey, and thank you, Dexter, for getting me involved. Give us a hand for Mr. Guzzo. Got better.